Hey everybody, Mungo Darkmatter here, and welcome to Solstice Day 6. Today I thought I'd talk about how to use Amazon reviews. I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon. It's cheap, it's convenient, and they have great customer service. But sometimes I buy products that I'm not that familiar with. Now, if it's something more expensive, generally I do some research on the internet on it, watch some YouTube reviews and read articles about the product and see if it's really a good product. But there are a lot of products that are kind of cheaper, and really it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend a couple of hours researching something that's not that expensive, frankly. But sometimes there are competing products that do the same thing, and they're very similar in price. You want to know, hey, which one should I try out? Or which should I try first? Which is the better one? So what I do is a lot of times I'll go and I'll look at the Amazon reviews. Now, I've noticed some problems with Amazon reviews. Now, if it's a product and there are 1,000 reviews on it, that's really usually pretty accurate because there's a big enough sampling of people. But when the number of reviews are a lot smaller, say 20 or less, then the reviews can be really inaccurate. And anywhere in between there, it just kind of depends on the product. Sometimes if it's just a couple of hundred, that's enough of a sampling, but it can also be kind of skewed if there's 100 or a couple hundred reviews too sometimes. So typically what I do is look at the number of reviews the very first thing. So if there are a lot of them, I know, hey, it's probably relatively accurate, so I can probably just go by the number of reviews on a particular item. And if there's more than one product, sometimes I will look at the number of reviews on both products. So even though one might be rated a little bit higher, the one where a lot of people have bought it and tried it that has a little more weight, at least to me. So now some of the problems when you run into when you have less people reviewing it is you're always going to have in any kind of survey or review system, if you look at the reviews, you're going to have people who always give 5 stars and people who always give 1 star. So that's just the way it is. And so usually the very top and the very bottom reviews or surveys you can cut out of the group as kind of outliers. Well, what Amazon does to kind of help you with this a little bit is they give you the percentage of reviews that are 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. So you kind of look, oh, most of them are 5 stars, and there's 1 star. Then you kind of look at that as, okay, well, maybe that one guy was dissatisfied. But there gets to be areas where you're kind of thinking, well, this is kind of basically a mixed review. So what you can actually do is look and read the reviews. I like to look at the bad reviews first because a lot of times I find that they may be inaccurate. So, for example, the person might give the review or give the product 3 stars, and then if you read their review and you find out, well, because UPS was running slow that day, they got it a day late, so they took 2 stars off. Otherwise they would have given it 5 stars. They might actually say that in the review. Now this makes the review kind of useless to anybody who would be using it, because you may not even read the review. You just want to know the star rating or adds or subtracts from the star rating of the product. So these types of reviews, which are pretty common, aren't really very accurate. On the other hand, you have 5-star reviews where people have said, oh, this is great, I really like this, and it's really just their initial impression after unpacking the thing. And they haven't even used the product yet. So you have to take those as not valid either. So a lot of times just reading some of the reviews, particularly the questionable ones, you can kind of alleviate any fears you might have of the product. I see a lot of reviews that say gee, I was wondering why are there all these negative reviews about this product, because it's a great product. And a lot of times, if you go and look at those negative reviews, they may be a little unfair, or the person could have been unlucky. When somebody does a bad review, a lot of times they've just done the review only because they were agitated. So one way you can also rate those reviews is go and look to see if the person's done other reviews, and to see what type of reviews they generally give. Do they only give bad reviews, or do they only give good reviews? Or do they seem kind of even-handed and pretty fair most of the time? So that's another way you can look at the reviews coming in on a particular product to see if they're accurate. And this type of thing is most important when you don't have as many reviews for a product, or it's a newer product. So you might have 3 5s and 2 4s and then 1 star. And you want to know about the 1 star because it's kind of an outlier, and it could be more accurate than the other reviews or less accurate if there are only a few reviews. Because like I said, some people only give 5-star reviews and some people only give 1-star reviews for anything. So those are some of the things you can look at when you see Amazon reviews. You got to really take them with a grain of salt, because some people really do give a really good or bad review without really even thinking about it, or they give a good or bad review that's not really related to what the product is or the quality of the product. I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and this has been Dark Matters, and whatever you do, enjoy the day, and I will see you next time.